Hello. Oh, you have a fan as well?
Yeah, I was told it's a requirement to have the fan.
Yeah, please take a seat.
These only just arrived. We've been here for 3 days in sweltering heat, and we finally get.
Well, it doesn't smell too bad, guys. That's not bad.
Not yet.
That's all right.
We're here till.
Oh, I broke mine immediately. Not a good start.
There we go. You're
The tech genius.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, we've been around these.
How do I get it to stay up? Oh yeah, we're good. No one move. No one breathe. No one move.
Excellent.
Nicky, welcome to Solana Floor. Great to have you on.
One sec. Which way am I looking? Camera, you guys, conversational,
Everywhere.
To us. Yeah.
We'll go back and forth. Sorry, what was the question?
Haven't got there yet. We are so excited about Layer 33.
Oh yeah.
I've been saying that as soon as the first tweets went out, the overwhelmingly positive reception was this is something we have needed for a long time. And how was that for you? Was that just instantly gratifying to have some people come out and say, yes, we need more support for independent validators at a community grassroots level?
Yeah, so little Layer 33 founder secret to start off with. It was meant to be like that's all right. It was meant to be like a hobby side project to start. And I was like, I can use up some of my extra time here to help these voiceless independent validators that sort of just grumble amongst themselves, but they're so essential. They need to have their story told. So I started to get some of the validators into a group. They were starting to, just like, I think they were so isolated that it was like, okay, like they love like this team feel and there was so much momentum. And then we launched the X account, and then just the amount of support, the people retweeting it and commenting and reaching out. I'm like, all right, I got to do this full time. Let's do it. Like we're going like how often do you get that much attention that quick?
Very interesting that you did from the get-go. It wasn't this is a plan, we're going to execute, we're going to go full-time into this. It sort of organically happened.
Organically happened, 100%.
Wow. And the people let you know how much this was needed.
Immediately. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, a lot of it was validators who have plenty of stake. But even them, like they see the direction things are going, and they feel the vibe, the negativity that's happening, the reduction in how much they're making in a month, and institutions sort of having all the stake funnel up to them, and they're like, we need this. And apparently others have tried similar endeavors, but it's everyone has different skill sets, right? And like these are devs, crack devs, and they're core contributors. Like that's just not me. So like I'm happy to be the talking puppet head for these very skilled, talented, contributing individuals, right? I think that was what was the missing piece.
Yeah, and so you talk about a lot of the negativity. We were in here with Dan Albert earlier, kind of hashing this out a bit.
Oh, perfect.
What in your view is the biggest factor that is making it difficult for smaller independent validators right now?
Oh, simple. And I got armed with all the numbers and facts here. 160,000 Solana is what is needed to break even now as a 0% commission validator. What is that? 20 something
10 million?
More than 10.
More than that, yeah.
I think it's like 20 something million dollars. Where do we get the calculus?
Checks out.
This is a professional operation. We're gonna calculate
check the numbers.
Check the numbers. Well, what's Sol at today?
I'm gonna guess 140. It's 22.4 million.
Yeah, guys, that's
4 million.
not exactly
chump change.
Not exactly chump change. That's not a garage hobbyist operation or even close to it, right? So now anyone that's under that threshold, they are basically operating for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And when you're getting, pings on your pager at 3 a.m. when the RPC goes down and you got to help reset it, and then there's network resets and there's updates. It's like now they're doing it at a loss. Like, are you kidding me?
And you've got delegators knocking on your door saying, oh man, fix it.
The pitchforks are out.
Yeah, and at the same time, you're watching like the entire ecosystem now be like, not kissing up to, but it's like institution. And they're sitting here suffering. Like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I understand it, but it's worth it. And it's going to be worth it in the end. It's just the problem had to be, echoed more.
I feel like you're the perfect person to ask this to, because it's obviously been one of the big stories that we keep touching back on while we've been here. We've been clamoring for institutions to arrive. Everyone say, institutions are coming. Now they're here. There's more suits out here than hoodies. People are talking about bringing billions on-chain ETFs, smothering stake. They're taking on heaps of Sol. Everyone has told us that's fine. That's part of the game. Solana is for everybody. What are the other things? That's not mutually exclusive. That this is what progress looks like. We're maturing. What's your view on the shift away from the authenticity and the DeFi roots of decentralization as we go more towards this institutional market?
Yeah, I was a big of a proponent as bringing in the suits as anyone. And I knew that it would bring a ton of money to the ecosystem. It would help regular people feel more comfortable. So I was a big proponent for that. But we needed to just not forget our roots And at the same time, like, we have to support those that have been building here. It's so easy to just move to like the next big shiny thing. And it's like, yes, that is great. And they do supply things that we can't do. But like, is our first act of the suits getting here to be like, oh, like, yeah, the indie validators are dying, but it's fine because there's replaced by, I'm like, that's a terrible start to this, right? And also, and I just said it during the talk, like, is the expectation that institutional validators are going to care about decentralization? Of course not. Their job, is the way institutions always have been, is to funnel as much money into their own entity as possible. That's what they should do, right? But that's not what Solana is built on. We have a different, we're weird, right? We have a weird ethos. Like, one validator in Solana doesn't even want to have all the stake. We literally want it to be geographic, like, have geographic diversity. We want to have stake diversity. Like, how do you communicate that to an institution? It's like, oh, I want to win, but I want to bring everyone with me, right? So that's not on them. That's on us to hold that part of us close. You know what I mean? We can't expect that from institutions.
Okay, so what are the practical steps that get that to happen? Because we can talk to the end of the day about how it's important and why we should all do it, but as we've said before, the Foundation Delegation Matching Program is winding down, so a lot of that support coming from Foundation is, sadly dripping away. What practical measures can be taken to ensure that this kind of independent spirit stays alive?
It's the responsibility falls on these indie validators, which I think is we had it reversed. It was like these indie validators were sort of grumbling with each other, saying like, why is the delegation program doing this? Like, why are fees like this? This isn't fair. And it's like, guys, you have power. You just don't realize it. Like, when you combine the amount of weight you can throw around and people start paying attention, I think Layer 33 is a perfect example of that. I mean, there's 18 million SOL between the 25 validators on Layer 33.
Yeah.
People are going to listen, right? Like, that is enough to affect the network at a large level, right? Like, that matters. So getting the story out there, saying why it's better to stake with these independent validators. And also, I'm a big believer, and it's like, if you provide value to the ecosystem, but also valuable products, revenue will come and stake will come. You can see all the biggest validators out there, for the most part, they're not even recruiting stake. Like, the stake just comes to them as they provide value. And right now, many of our independent validators, their full-time job is, one, staying online, but two, selling. They're trying to get people to stake with them. And I just think it's a losing battle. Provide value, the stake will come.
Yeah. A big part of that for me is something that Dan L was mentioning. How do you provide that extra value? Because a lot of people said it's about education. A lot of people said it's about being geographically distributed. Others said it's about doing content in different languages. What for you is the singular thing that lifts the whole?
I can't talk about everyone, right? I can only talk about what we're thinking at Layer 33, right? My hope is that others will copy us and do the same, and they'll find their own niche for how they communicate this and get stake and get people to care. For us, we're thinking big. Like, we're thinking core infrastructure. We're thinking like massive protocol level, because our combined stakes, if we were all one validator, we'd be the biggest validator on Solana, right? Why can't we be a Helios? Why can't we be a Jito? We have 25 Chad validators run by people been here for 4+ years. We have the dev chops. We have the infrastructure. The funding, we'll see. Work in progress. If anyone wants to help out with that, let me know. But like, there's nothing that a group like this can accomplish. And as you see, Helios doesn't have any trouble finding stake, right? Jito doesn't have any trouble finding stake. There's a reason for that, because they provide value to the ecosystem. They're a known commodity. People feel safe and trusted with them. Why can't we do the same?
Is that cap set at 25? Like, if I was running a validator and I wanted to be a part of this, what would be the best way to do that?
So I have had probably most of my time spent at Breakpoint was talking to indie validators that want to join, which is unbelievably like humbling in the coolest way. I've got like people like trying to schedule meetings with me. I'm like, do I need an executive assistant? Like, am I important? Like, I've got all these people. Like, how can I get in? But it is the coolest conversations. These people have been building here for so long. They want to join, and we're now in a position where, and I can't believe this, a month in, we have to be picky, right? I give them all the same spiel. I'm like, how much stake do you have? And then it's like, first of all, let's be clear. That's not all that matters. We have validators at less than 100K SOL. I'm just asking the question. And it's like, these are the things we're building. I can't mention all of them now. What can you contribute, right? Do you have design chops, right? Do you have marketing chops? Do you have partnerships? Do you have networking? Do you have money? We've got like 2 or 3 crack devs now. Could you support them, right? Because they come to me and it's usually like, okay, we want to get in because we think that you guys will eventually get delegation. It's like, first of all, we didn't have the delegation yet, right? So it's like, but to get there, we need to actually provide the value first. So I gave them all the same homework. And if you're out there watching, the same homework to you, I don't need a one pager, right? It's not that professional. Just some bullet points. What are you best at? What value can you contribute? What stories can you tell? And if you get rejected by us, like beat us at our own game. Make your own coalition of validators. Get your own 10, 15, 20 together. And maybe you don't need 18. There was a group I was talking to today. I was like, if you can't get 18 million SOL, worth of validators together, get 10 with 100K SOL. Then you have a million. I promise you have a million SOL within your coalition or group. You can start throwing some weight around. People will start to take you more seriously immediately. So please do copy this. Please do the same. It's the only way, we can have some weight and leverage against these institutional powers that we're up against.
So this grassroots movement that you're describing, obviously it's inspiring. And this is what we want. We want decentralization, but specific to the entry barrier, let's say. I saw a post, I think it was this morning, totally had reshared something. It was a picture saying that someone had met a plumber and an electrician, and they were running a sort of an indie validator. And I think either yourself or someone from the team commented saying, it is absolutely critical that we lower the entry barrier to way below 500 SOL to do this. So is the same thing still a present real danger problem in running nodes as well?
Yeah, so funny enough, the problem is that people think that solves the problem. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I big surprise, I run the layer 33 account. And also not saying anything to interns out there, but someone that deeply believes and is incentivized in the project should be running the X account. That's the secret to a good X account. So yeah, we were going back and forth. Basically, he was talking about Alpenglow, which goes, we don't know when it'll go live. It's supposed to be May, but who knows?
Sometime next year.
Mystery next year, which is great, right? But the idea is to replace these voting fees. Voting fees are 1 SOL a day, right? It has to do with how long the epoch is, but whatever. On average, it comes out 1 SOL a day, which is a lot of freaking money. And that's getting replaced with VAT. VAT is going to start at 1.6 SOL per epoch. Yep. So 0.4 SOL less every 2 days. Pretty negligible. And Tolly was responding saying, hey, just lower the VAT. Okay, like a lot of, first of all, this isn't even launched yet. And then it's like, we can try to get the VAT lower, but that's not up to us. We can vote and petition for it and all this, but this isn't even launched yet. We can't, this can't be assured, right? And how much could we lower the VAT? There's so many questions there. And then institutions who have stake could maybe vote against lowering the VAT. There's a lot that goes into that. We can't take that for granted. But why that's important is because a lot of the communication that's come from the top, and I am a massive fan of Tolly, obviously, he's been retweeting our posts, he's reached out to me directly, he cares deeply about indie validators, more than I think anyone else at that level. It's really wonderful to see. But there's that bit of miscommunication going out there where I've had multiple people reply oh, once VAT comes out, this problem is fixed. And I'm like, guys, I'm talking to some of the best, been here for 4 years, validators in the ecosystem, and that is not what they're telling me. So someone's wrong, and I trust my guys.
Yeah, we Dan L was in here earlier, and I asked him the same question. I said it's been painted as this silver bullet that solves all the problems. And he said, yeah, it's not quite there. It's a lot more than that, and something that actually will help a lot is just more DeFi activity, more people using the chain, more transaction fees, more priority fees going through. How integral is that to kind of keeping the ball running?
Yeah, again, we don't want to rely on it, right? Yes, more on-chain activity, there's more fees, which helps pay the bills and can make these validators profitable again. But we want to go in with the impression that the expectation is going to be that they run at basically a net zero, right? Yeah. So how can we create value elsewhere? And that's where you throw your weight around, you make businesses, you do public goods, bring in more stake that way. And then also, hey, build a company and earn some revenue, right? Make it so you're not reliant on anyone for your success but yourself, right? That's the direction we want to go to. And my theory is eventually, the fees will come down, eventually more activity will happen, and then they'll be making money on the validator as well. But we're not going to rely on that.
So what becomes the revenue generating arm for layer 33?
Ooh, I have some alpha on this that just came in, by the way. Did you announce just a second ago on stage IndieSol, or was this done earlier in the day?
I did say IndieSol on stage. So IndieSol has been live. We haven't mentioned it. That is one, but that's still just staking.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. You want to support us, swap to IndieSol. We are excited about it. Drew from the ice staking team, what an absolute Chad, spun that up for us quickly. Yeah, you can swap to it right now on Jupiter to support us. But yeah, that's still staking. How can we really earn? It's RPC services, gRPCs, transaction landing. We have, 4% of the block space, right? Like we're gonna monetize.
Honestly, this conference is
I like
absolutely wild.
Yeah, there's literally
Every 5 minutes, it's an entirely different set of frequencies. You're getting blasted this box. But sorry, continue.
Yeah, well, we can just vibe for a second.
We can vibe for
just vibe for a second. It's a rock concert.
Who
again,
even
don't worry.
is this?
What do you mean? Who is it? It's a rock concert.
It's a rock concert.
We're just vibing. Is the music for me?
I think so. It's for Indie Soul.
It's for Indie Soul.
Yeah. The
So-
new GRPC you're launching.
And we're thinking even bigger than that. Those are like sort of the low hanging fruits. We have some of these validators, man. These Chad devs had projects they wanted to build, but they're like, no one will see it. Like nobody will care. Like how are we gonna get users? And like now we can because we have the marketing chops now, right? We have all these followers and we have these people who care about what we're building. So I'm like, again, think big. Like I said, when we talk to them, I'm like, think Helios, think Jito. And it's like, well, who cares? Just go for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Just keep moving our
it
feet.
sounds like a chicken and egg situation. So you've got this big vision. You're thinking big, but you also have trust. So do you need to get the trust for people to be able to think, okay, I align myself with this guy's vision, I trust him, or is it vision and then the trust follows? Like, which comes first?
I'll say that, well, it's funny enough on the trust side, and this is going to help with this, our first users will be our validators. Like, we have 25 validators in it with 18 million sold. So, like, anything we build, they use all of these services. So, like, why are you using services and, money going elsewhere to teams that have not shown that they care if any validators survive or not? Let's keep those fees within the family, right?
Absolutely.
And then encourage other indie validators to do the same.
And I think it's a battle of attrition, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So you just do the next thing in front of you, the next thing in front of you, and then you build momentum. And then people see, like, this is growing. How can we lend our support to the growing cause? And it starts an avalanche.
Absolutely, and that's why we'll start with the low hanging fruit. Like I said, the RPC stuff is low hanging fruit. We have so much stake decentralization. Everyone has backup nodes, so we're that's basically already ready to go. And we think people want to support it. Our validators are going to support it. And again, I've gotten challenges internally. It's like, well, it's like RPC service. It's like the margins are tight, and this is difficult. And this, I'm like, guys, we just keep churning our feet. If we literally just don't stop running, I promise we cannot fail. If we just launch products and we get loud and we keep running, we won't fail. I mean, how many products have you seen launch on, especially like in crypto, that are beyond stupid and they still like end up doing well because the teams are just relentless?
Plenty.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Being relentless is more important than even having a good product, I believe.
That's fascinating.
That's
alpha.
Contentious issue on the topic of
Mm-hmm.
validator profitability. 441.
Is this one of the Cindy's?
This is the latest one. So
One of the many.
As we know,
You gotta tell me which one that is.
so 228 was the big one.
Yes.
Early in the year. 441 is kind of the simplified version of that, where we
like a
It's doubling the
doubling
inflation.
inflation, so we get to terminal inflation faster. Now, the argument is this hurts smaller validators because they lose that revenue generation that pays the bills. What's your bird's eye view on the situation?
I don't mind that at all. I think anything that drives up the price of the underlying token is good. So it's like if you're removing fees from the validators, like that's different. But something like this, in theory, right, should drive the underlying token price up. Because at the end of the day, for a validator, the number they're looking at is how much money they're making in USD. Sorry, it's just the reality.
Yep.
So this should, with less inflation out there, it's less sell pressure, should drive up the price of the token. They'd be making, in theory, more money than they're making now. And that's all we care about.
Okay, if I was to play devil's advocate on this, could you argue that staking rewards as they are is just a Cantillon effect, where validators receive the incoming SOL that gives them more purchasing power, so they're getting the rewards. People who aren't staking the SOL are not getting the rewards. So validators are actually winning in this kind of zero-sum game, whereas people who hold their SOL on exchanges or don't stake are basically getting debased while validators earn well. So arguably, validators are actually winning in this race if we kind of keep inflation high.
If we keep inflation high, that they're winning in the race. Well, it's like the asset is inflating without people that are staking. Keep in mind, everyone is willing to stake. If you're choosing not to stake, you're literally choosing to have it. It would be like if you're imagine if you could stake like the US dollar, for instance. Why wouldn't you do it, right? Because it's literally inflating without us. So now it's like, imagine if it could inflate with you. The validators, yes, are earning that inflation. The stakers are earning that inflation. The only ones that are losing in that scenario you're giving is people just not staked. Yeah. So what's the argument you're trying to make?
The argument is that it's a zero-sum game and that validators benefit from having the higher inflation because non-stakers lose that game.
Yeah, but I'm okay with lowering inflation.
Okay.
I think the underlying asset going up is most important for everyone. Plus, it's good for vibes.
It's good for vibes, yeah. It's a lot more fun when candles are green.
Speaking of vibes, if you look at crypto Twitter, sentiment was, at an all-time low. We saw extreme fear. People were shouting at each other nonstop for hours on end. When you come here, it's a very different vibe. Everyone's building. Everyone thinks, price is a 2024 discussion. Institutions are here. Obviously, we spoke with Matt Hogan from Bitwise, and he's saying, listen, institutions don't really care about short-term price volatility. They've got a much longer investment horizon. Are we still on a bull run? Does it matter? Do you care? Do you think about these things?
I do think about it a little bit. I have my own personal timelines in mind for what I think. I actually do think we're still on a bull run. That's my theory. And I've got my months that I think certain things will end or happen or not. But
either the alpha. What do we think? Big Q1 rally, or are we waiting?
I can't tell you because then you guys will dump on me.
Yeah.
I don't trust you guys. I don't trust the audience to dump on me. But yeah, I certainly don't know how to time the market. I'm awful at that, if anything. But yeah, I have my predictions that this was just a pullback. There's just so much positivity around Solana specifically right now in the crypto market overall. I actually am excited about where we're headed price wise. But then as for sentiment, price go up helps it, but it's hard to be bearish after an event like this,
isn't it?
And the quality of people that you talk to, the combination of, and I know I was being mean to institutions earlier, but institutions that are here, and then you see them in the same room as talking to this guy earlier. I don't know if you heard of that post where the guy's a plumber, but he's been running an independent validator.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's incredible.
That's really
how can you be bearish on that?
Absolutely, it's amazing. And another thing that to your point about we shouldn't necessarily just blindly shit on these institutions. Turns out the guys that they're sending and the people who are running the DeFi digital asset shops within these trillion-dollar asset managers are actually kind of degens.
Yeah, they care.
We spoke to Mike Reed, and the guy's got a Seeker, he's got a Kudus ring. He speaks very passionately about DeFi and decentralization. He just so happens to be working for a trillion-dollar asset manager. So, that was a sort of eye-opening moment for me as well. Matt Hogan, he considers himself a DeFi OG. He's been in the industry for a long, long time. Speaks extremely positively of Bitcoin and Ethereum for as long as I can remember him talking on the CNBCs, the MSNBCs of the world. And now he's out there pushing Solana very aggressively. So yeah, maybe these trillion-dollar asset managers and the TradFi institutions, at least the side of them that we see and get to interact with, we shouldn't just blindly push them away.
The crypto teams are good. The crypto teams are usually people that wish they were working even deeper in the ecosystem.
They don't want to
because they see how much fun we're having. I agree with that, but there are bigger powers at play and there's stuff that's outside of their control. True. And again, not even asking them to change. Their nature is their nature. It's what makes the global economy go, right? I would happily, in another life, I'd be in those shoes, right? I'm just saying that it's on us to maintain enough value that all the stake doesn't funnel up to them because they'll take it, right? That's their job. Right, their job is to win, outright win.
What does Solana still need to do to win in an undeniably, undeniably be in a winning position by the end of 2026? So let's say, fast forward to November 2026, we're in London for the next breakpoint. What's it going to take? Is it going to be indie validators being supported? Is it going to be more TradFi activity on chain? Is it going to be a sort of a shift back to the roots, back to the ethos of decentralization and disintermediation? What is it going to take for us to get to a point where the XRP armies of the world and the ETH communities of the world, the dot ethers also say, okay, fine, you guys are winning. This is undeniably where you guys are at now.
Oh, I think just honestly, this is not that's exciting of a take. I believe Solana is an unstoppable train at this point. It does every year. I think the market share will continue to grow more and more for Solana. Versus the others. It's just undeniably the best technology. When it comes to the global economy running on it, it'll be one of those things. And my mother-in-law is the one I always use as the best example because she's like, I don't understand Solana. I don't get this. Can you explain it to me? I'm like, don't worry about it. It'll just be one of those things that you use without knowing that you use. It's just the best product and it is what it is. But like as for what we need to accomplish between now and then, the decentralization stuff, like actually between now and then doesn't matter that much to like the exterior world. Like that doesn't affect like the normal people. That's an internal fight for us to have because decentralization is specifically important to us. Like if Solana staking just becomes JP Morgan and all of the stake is on, 6 validators that are run by institutions, I still think the chain will function fine. We'll be at risk and there are problems that can happen and then it's like, it can be abused. But like for actual regular person, they won't care or know. The people who will be affected are the ones that have been here, the ones who deeply understand and care about the technology. And also it'll scare away some of the best talent who do care because the most talented devs who want to work in crypto, they want to work in crypto because they care about decentralization.
That is a good take, I would say. And we've been sort of getting back to this theme quite frequently this week. The TradFi giants and the DeFi OGs and the degens all rubbing shoulder in Abu Dhabi, the capital of capital. There is a certain irony to that, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important that people come out and they position themselves as proponents of these values. And if we don't do that, then we do sort of run the risk of being co-opted by the corporations, no matter how degen the TradFi giants crypto representatives are. At the end of the day, they have a legal obligation to maximize profit. And that is, in my mind, an ideological risk that we face.
For sure. No, yeah, well put. It's not their fault. It's just what they're supposed to do.
That's what they're there to do. We could talk all day, but we don't have all day, unfortunately. It is coming to the end of the time. I don't want to steal much of your time. I'm sure you're busy. You want to talk to indie validators as well. But one thing I would ask very kindly is that you leave us with some bullish optimism, some hopium. Give us something to really, really look forward to in 2026.
With Solana as an unstoppable force.
So beyond the extremely bullish energy that you gave us, be super specific about something that we can look forward to. Other guests that we've asked the same question to have said, look, there's going to be regulatory changes coming sometime in April. Raoul Pal, for example, said, the business cycles are elongated, and we can look for, the market sort of pricing these things maybe in Q1, very early Q2. It doesn't have to be price, obviously, but what really gets you excited when you think about the next 12 months?
Oh, for me, and I think it'll be the full 12 months, it'll be starting to see like my loved ones and friends start to like use stable coins on like a daily basis. Because I know that I think that is becoming a real reality. The first time that like a family member or friend gets like some sort of pay or transaction in a stable coin on their own, I mean, I'll be giddy. And I think it's only like 12 months away.
You think it's 12 months away?
Yeah. All my friends are like such degenerates. They love all the sports gambling apps and all of that, and like just to be able to pull up a Phantom wallet, which has now it's Kalshi's on Phantom now, right?
I believe so.
As of yesterday.
Yeah, and we're going to a side event, and it's Solana Foundation, Kalshi, Phantom, and the D-Flow. So yeah, they're obviously very much integrated. And
I cannot wait to send my degenerate friends like 10, 20 USDC. Again, tell them to download a Phantom wallet and just say like, here, do some sports bets.
Bet on anything you want.
Yeah, like that's the perfect way to onboard. So real proud of those teams for getting that done. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cannot wait for that to be a reality as well.
What do you guys have next?
We are going to round up all the updates. We're going to go through the most exciting updates as far as we see them, because I think there's about 600 items on this list. 3 days of updates. We've had, the $5 trillion asset managers with Sweep. We've had the Galaxy news. So much has happened. So we're going to do a quick fire round of all the most exciting updates. Then we're going to wrap up the stream. And then we're going to go to the Kalshi event. And we're going to continue creating content from Kalshi's event.
Nice. I don't know if I got an invite for that one.
Nicky, we'll get you in. Thank you so much for talking to us. Really, really appreciate it.